Okay, this video discusses questions 3 through 5 on your cumulative review. These questions have to do with identifying the slope and y-intercept of a line that's written in slope-intercept form, and also they have to do with solving an equation so that you have it in slope-intercept form. So let's look at the first question. Here's question 3. Identify the slope and y-intercept of the linear equation y equals 3/4 x minus 2. So the first thing that you have to realize is that when we talk about slope-intercept form, we're talking about y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. So when your equation's already solved for y, like it is here, the number attached to your x is your slope. So in this case, that would be 3/4. And the constant, or the number without a variable, is your y-intercept. And in this case would be -2. The sign is really important, so make sure you pay attention to it. On question 4, we have to first put it in slope-intercept form, which means we have to solve for y first. So to do that, we're going to draw on our river. We're going to ask ourselves, what's farthest away from the y? Well, in this one, the thing farthest away from the y is the 2x. So how am I going to undo it? I'm going to subtract it. It's positive, so I'm going to subtract it on both sides. Then I'm going to write down what I have left. On the left side, I just have -7y because these 2x's cancel. And on the right side, I see -28 minus 2x. They're not like terms, so we can't combine them. So I'm going to just write the x part first and then the non-x part. Then, to undo the -7, we're going to divide everything by -7. So -7's cancel. We have y equals. And our last step is just to simplify. -2 divided by -7 is positive 2/7. So positive 2/7x, and -28 divided by -7 is positive 4. So here's our y equals. And now to identify our slope, we look at the number with the x, which in this case is 2/7, and our y-intercept is the number not attached to x, so 4. Question 5 is really similar to question 4, except for this time we're dealing with an inequality instead of an equation. So let's make that a little bigger so we can see it. And we're going to solve this for y. So I'm going to draw in my river, and then we are going to get y by itself. So the first thing we're going to do is undo this -4x by adding 4x to both sides. Then we write down what's left after we do that. Well, once again, 12 and 4x are not like terms, so we're just going to write it as 4x plus 12. And then when we undo the -2 by dividing, we have to remember that when we divide by a negative, it flips our inequality symbols. So it goes from greater than to less than. Then we simplify. 4 divided by -2 is -2, so -2x. And 12 divided by -2 is -6. So here it is, solve for y. Our slope then would be -2, and our y-intercept would be -6. So when you're doing these, just remember the basic form of slope-intercept form. Y equals mx plus b, and remember the number attached to x is your slope, and the constant is your y-intercept.